Hi, my name is Sara Hawkins. I'm an Access to Justice Coordinator with the Public Legal Information Association of Newfoundland and Labrador. I am giving a workshop at the E.C. Hunter Library on how to be an executor, what the role is, and what you can expect when you are an executor. An executor is the person that you appoint in your will who is going to take care of all of the things after you pass away. With our aging population, there's a lot of people who are finding themselves in this situation. So we're getting a lot of calls on, I've been appointed an executor and now I don't know what to do. We always suggest the first thing to do is take a minute. Just take a minute first. There's no set timeline. There's no requirement to have this done within 2 or 3 weeks after the passing of your loved one. So you can take the time to really, grieve that loved one first, and that is important. It can be very emotional dealing with a loved one's estate. Lots of memories there when you're going through the things, and that's okay, and that's part of the grieving process. But I would suggest taking your time as somebody who's lived through it. Taking your time and reminisce about those memories as well is really important. Like I said, there's no huge rush to get this done. So people always ask, how much work are we in for? And again, that's an it depends question. It depends on how difficult the estate is, if the estate was really big, if there's a lot of beneficiaries, if you can't find out information, it's a bit of a process as well. Some of the biggest hurdles is just finding information, finding out where the bank accounts are, finding out if the person had a life insurance policy or RRSPs, finding out if there's any debt that needs to be paid off. So that's probably the biggest hurdles, is just finding that information. So what we do suggest is that if you are writing a will, you should have a conversation with the person you appoint as executor and let them know where to find these really important documents. The next, I think one of the big questions is, I'm in over my head and I can't do this and I don't want to do this. If you are appointed executor, you can refuse. That is okay if you feel overwhelmed or you don't want to take that on. Some of the other common hitches that we do see is the arguing among the family members. Some people might feel like they're entitled to more than what they are in the will. And if that happens, we do strongly suggest that you get a lawyer involved. I think one of the questions I will mention is what happens to the social media side of things and the digital assets. And that is a growing question that we're all trying to navigate and figure out. What we have been suggesting is just writing down that this is my email address and this is my Facebook account. There's different ways and protocols for those to be closed, and it can be a little bit messy, so just keep that in the back of your mind. And I guess a good tip as well is to contact Public Legal Information Association. We do have a really good guide for executors and administrators, which goes through all of the things that you might not think about when becoming an executor. So, we are a really good resource. So reach out to us if you have any questions at all.